On February 11th, 2012, in a hotel on Wilshire Boulevard, the greatest voice of her generation slipped beneath the water of a bathtub and never came back up. One floor below, they were already setting the tables for a party in her honor. She had sold more than 200 million records. She had, by almost any measure, the finest voice a woman ever put on tape. And she died in a few inches of water, with the people who loved her just down the hall. This is the whole story of Whitney Houston, the voice, the fame, the marriage, the fall, and the truth about the night it ended. And a warning that, 3 years later, would repeat itself in the most heartbreaking way imaginable. Newark, New Jersey, 1963. Whitney Elizabeth Houston is born into music, the way other kids are born into a family business. Her mother is Cissy Houston, a Grammy-winning singer who sang backup for Aretha Franklin. Her cousin is Dionne Warwick. In this house, music isn't a dream, it's the air. She grows up in the New Hope Baptist Church choir, a little girl with a voice that makes grown adults stop and turn around. By her teens, she's singing backup for her mother, modeling on magazine covers, and being quietly watched by the most powerful man in the record business. 1983. Clive Davis, head of Arista Records, watches her sing in a New York nightclub and signs her on the spot. He doesn't just want a singer. He wants to build a superstar, slowly, perfectly. 1985. Her debut album, simply called Whitney Houston, sits at #1 for 14 weeks. She becomes the first woman in history to send 3 songs from a single album to #1. Saving All My Love for You, How Will I Know, Greatest Love of All. She isn't just a star. She's the star sold-out arenas, a voice critics call flawless. America has a new sweetheart, and her name is Whitney. 1991. At the Super Bowl, with the country at war, she sings the national anthem so powerfully it's released as a single and charts on its own. People still call it the greatest anthem ever sung. 1992. She stars in her first film, The Bodyguard. For the soundtrack, she records a quiet country song most people had forgotten, Dolly Parton's I Will Always Love You. That a cappella opening, that key change, it spends 14 weeks at #1 and becomes one of the best-selling singles of all time, by anyone ever. By the mid-90s, Whitney is the most awarded female artist on earth. There is nothing left to prove. And that, in stories like this, is usually when it turns. 1992, the same year. She marries Bobby Brown, a bad boy R&B star, the opposite of her polished image. The press calls it a mismatch. She calls it love. 1993. Their daughter is born, Bobbi Kristina. Whitney calls her my whole world. Remember her, she matters more to this story than anyone will realize. Behind the gowns and the awards, something is going wrong. The marriage is volatile, and the drugs that had always hovered at the edges of her world move to the center. For years, the public sees only flashes, a canceled show, a strange interview, a thinner frame. And then the unthinkable, the famous voice, the perfect instrument, starts to crack. 2002. A television interview. Asked about drugs, she delivers the line that follows her forever, crack is whack. She means she's above it. The world hears something else. The album's slow. The tabloids speed up. The woman with the perfect voice becomes a punchline, the same thing the world does to almost everyone who flies that high. 2007. After 15 years, she and Bobby Brown divorce. She takes custody of Bobbi Kristina, and for a moment, it looks like she might climb back out. 2009. A comeback album, a world tour, but the voice that once sounded like it fell from heaven now sounds tired, human, fragile. The tour is cut short. Those closest to her describe 2 Whitneys, the warm, funny, deeply faithful woman they love, and the one the addiction keeps dragging back under. By early 2012, she is fighting again to get clean. February 2012. Los Angeles, Grammy weekend. Whitney is staying at the Beverly Hilton, the very hotel where, the next night, her mentor Clive Davis will host his famous pre-Grammy gala. She's in good spirits that week. She drops by a club and sings a little. She makes plans. She is, everyone says, looking forward. Saturday, February 11th, early afternoon. She's getting ready for the party. She steps into the bathroom of room 434 to take a bath. Around 3:30, her assistant returns and finds her unresponsive in the tub. They pull her out. They try everything. At 3:55 p.m., Whitney Houston is pronounced dead. She is 48 years old. One floor below, the ballroom is already set for Clive Davis's gala. They make a decision that still divides people to this day. The party goes ahead that night, in her honor, in the same building where she lay. What happened? The coroner's answer took weeks. The official cause, drowning, but two things put her under that water. Her arteries were roughly 60% blocked, severe heart disease, in a woman of 48. And there was cocaine in her system, used shortly before she died. The ruling was an accident, a cocaine-strained heart, a sudden cardiac event, and a few inches of water that were all it took. The strongest voice in the world, undone by the quietest kind of death. And it should end there. But the most heartbreaking part of Whitney's story isn't Whitney. Her daughter, Bobbi Kristina, was just 18 when she lost her mother. She'd inherited the voice, the fame, the name, and all the pain that came attached to them. On January 31st, 2015. Almost exactly 3 years after Whitney, Bobbi Kristina was found face down, unconscious, in a bathtub in her own home. The echo was so exact it didn't feel real. She never woke up. After nearly 6 months in a coma, on July 26, 2015, Bobbi Kristina Brown died. She was 22 years old. Two women, the same gift, the same water, 3 years apart. If there is a sadder sentence in all of modern music, I have never heard it. Strip all of it away, the marriage, the tabloids, the tragedy, and what's left is the voice. Press play on I Will Always Love You Just Once, and you understand why none of the rest could ever erase her. Every singer who dares that song is really asking the same question. Can I do what Whitney did? And the answer, so far, is no. Not like that. Maybe not ever. So rest easy, Whitney. For a while the world cropped you down to your worst headlines, but your voice outlived every one of them, and it always will. If this one moved you, follow for more, a new legend every week. We've told the story of the king of pop and now the voice. Who should we cover next? Drop a name in the comments.